I've heard immensely that you are one of the people who was very forward looking. You're always looking out for innovative tools and you're bringing that to the university. So how did your journey, to fall in love with technology begin?
On the journey, basically, I am a technology person. Mine is a master's education in computer science and engineering. That is the one thing. Second thing is that I have graduated in 1992. Almost it is a 30 years of time span, and it is a long time span. And over that time span, being from the member of MIT Art Design and MIT group of institution, lot of a lot of resource allocations need to be handled at various levels that has been observed by me keenly. So ultimately, when the responsibility comes to you, then ultimately you need to find out the way, because currently the group is having more than 75,000 plus students. Institutions are group is having more than 75 plus institutions. That institutions are under the umbrella of 4 different universities. And second thing is that the 20 plus schools are there. So when we are handling this kind of students, this quantity of the students, the infrastructure which is required, IT infrastructure which is required, that is need to be that is need to be developed. And if it is done, it is developed, all the decisions are taken on the platform, because today is the platform based economy, then it is very sustainable for us to grow with the speed in which we are with the speed which we are matching today. Because in last 2016, when the group has taken the initial decision of having more than having the private state university, MIT Art Design Technology, where I'm working as a ICT director for this particular university. There I have seen, I have got an opportunity of infrastructure, students infrastructure, IT resource management, management that is being handled by me. And what I have observed is something is coming on the screen. So 75,000 plus speed. So to handle that IT requirement, we have to have a backbone of the university, that is the software which we are the platform on which the university is handled, that need to be a stronger platform. And on that platform, the entire resources are allocated, the reports are need to be developed on day-to-day basis, and that is how we can grow. And that is what it is coming. So there are a lot of challenges. It could be a challenge of placement, it could be a challenge of admission, it could be a challenge of students document verification, students exam management, it could be a challenge of students learning management system environment, or it could be a challenge of entire campus ecosystem development. So that is being handled by us.
Wow, that's fantastic. I think massive amount of exposure, experience, and learnings also that you have. Ma'am, if you can quickly, share what have been your key learnings about technology itself. I'm sure over these years, you have tried different tools and technology of, in fact, currently using XtraEdge as well. What have been your key learnings in terms of, what have been your key challenges that you have seen implementing or adopting technologies internally as well within the institution?
University is the vast environment. Student strength management is basically totally different. But this is not only the case of university. This is the case of any organization. It could be a manufacturing organization. It could be organization, IT in the corporate environment, or it could be a IT industry, the way it is growing in Pune or all over the world. Any environment. So resource management, it could be a human resource management, finance resource management, as well as the whatever the way you have developed your own infrastructure, how the flow of the infrastructure which is developed, that is need to be managed at every level. So these are the key things which I can say that is need to be managed. Once you understand the incoming flow of your organization, that strength need to be managed, that is being managed by at your end. How it is to be managed, on what platform it is to be managed, that is another challenge. But once you know that, and to manage this kind of particular flow, what kind of efforts are need to be taken by your team members, by your entire team, and then how you could be able to deliver your deliverables which are required. So that is how the strength is managed, and that is how the what level you want to achieve after delivering that particular product, or delivering your students, or delivering your deliverables you have defined. Then what level they could achieve, what is your satisfactional statistics in placement also. So for example, this year our university ratio, statistical ratio, that was in previously we were having some 9 lakh rupees average pay packages, or 7 lakh rupees pay packages, or 5 lakh rupees pay packages. That has been raised to 11 lakh and 12 lakh rupees average pay packages. That is how we need to understand our inflow as well as the outgoing flow. So both things are very important, and that is, once you have understood that, then these are the key strength points I can say that will help us to develop the things. Now, when you are determining your incoming flow, so you need to understand what is the in terms of educational organization. I'm saying this because this particular extroid we are using for the educational environment. So I'll talk more about that. So here what we are seeing is that key for this incoming for entire university, what is the infrastructure available for this academic session. This much infrastructure is available at infrastructure, that is the resource infrastructure, resource wise, that is the complete buildings. It could be a laboratories, it could be a manpower resource, human resource manpower which is required for the organization. That is we understood. And then after that, after knowing this particular thing, what we do is we see that is what is our intake, what is the probable number we can play with, the probable number of the admissions, probable number of the students we can accommodate this academic session for the university, and that is how it is managed. And then the faculty absorption is there, faculty absorption, how many faculties are required, that we understand, and then we see that they will be delivered.
Excellent. I think by the length and width of it, I see you have done all of it, from implementing to making sure the outcomes have also been met, because that comes much later, in the process. Ma'am, talking a little more about data, in my experience implementing CRM also with several institutions in the last 6 years, many times when we go to the institution, we ask them, where is the data? And usually I get to see a piece of paper, which is there, or an Excel sheet. And it becomes very difficult to identify, or bring the data together, especially traditional setups which are over 30 years old, 40 years old. This data can bring a lot of valuable insights, but collecting that data or maintaining that data itself is a challenge, right? And today's topic we are discussing is also regarding leveraging data for admission success, particularly for institutions. But if we have just talk about data, how difficult has it been for you to accumulate? You mentioned about placements. If it is about admission, the number of students, where do they come from, what is the demographic? Over the years, many institutions I see even today, they don't maintain this data in any format. And then when they go in for accreditation, it becomes very difficult to accumulate it ad hoc, and it is not accurate. So have you been able to do this, or any advice that you can share for institutions to taking care of data more accurately?
Yeah, the academic environment is usually little bit, I can say that, lethargic about generating the reports, but still the accreditation teams are there on the head of institution, and the people are managing the data because their orientation is more towards academic delivery. And with the same people or with the same team, if we are managing this admissions or these processes, then this happens usually. But if you have a separate team in your organization and they are managing their own data, then I think the reports are ready with the organization also. That is what I said to you, that in placement we have achieved in last 3 years from this statistic, from this level to that level we have achieved. So this kind of processes are always there. This kind of things are always there in the organization. And we have also become the professional environment. The educational environment has to remain professional environment, especially in India too. This has become mandatory for us, because you might have seen the number in India. If you see the higher educational statistic, only 18% of younger population is going towards the higher education. That is a very pathetic situation, or that is all over India situation, which is really bad. only 20% of people, those who are from the metropolitan cities, they could manage their higher educations. And that is a all India level statistic. Now, the statistic is there, but in higher level of education, that is the postgraduate programs or the undergraduate program, it could be undergraduate program. In this level, we have seen that the students, the data is the only thing which is we need to manage, and we have to work on that. So for example, we are running some programs, special programs like an executive MBA program, or the programs like a master's MTech degree program. So MTech degree, for the MTech degree program, why any or common person is not there who is going to get the achieve the MTech degree, right? Whose objective is to aim that particular degree. So data is the only source. We need to be data dependent. We need to understand the data dependency on the geographical location, state-wise data. Then we have to manage on the state-wise data, as well as we have to manage it on the you can say the area-wise data, or it could be like a specific if we have a tie-ups with the special institutes or the special we have like our own schools of Vishwa Shanti Gurukul, but we do not have exact data of the Vishwa Shanti Gurukul that these many students are taking admissions in our groups. So that strength and that data need to be managed, and that is the processes are need to be required to be set at university level. It could be a so we need to be managed, and data then the very special class of people are coming for this kind of programs. So then we have a number of admissions in the PhD program. So PhD जिनका post graduation हुआ है, they are only going to go for the doctorate program. How doctorate program, India's statistic, if we see the statistic of India for the research, that is really bad. Some of the industry organizations are creating with the patent writing. They are coming up with the research paper and publications, and now the environment, the awareness is created in India. It is at very initial state. So even though we have ISRO, even though we have the organizations like various organizations like DRDOs, or we have the various manufacturing organization, India's platform, India's vastness, India's geographical vastness, as well as the population-wise vastness is there everywhere. But still, to manage that, we need to have our own data resources need to be managed. The government of India's statistical reports, which are specially done in last 7 to 10 years, what I have observed, like companies like KPMG or the McKinsey reports, which are being created, they are onboarded on the platform, and the reports they are the only strength where we can assign ourselves. Like in Maharashtra, a few days back, it was the situation that 350,000 seats are there for the engineering admission, but Maharashtra, out of most of the 50,000 admissions are vacant, the seats are vacant. So infrastructure has been developed, the resource people are there, but still the scenario is that the seats are going vacant, where these and the students who are willing to pursue the engineering education, that data is there, but still this mismatch is there. That is, we need to understand the bureaucrats, they are creating the ecosystem. We educationists has to create the ecosystem at university level, so that the more number of people will be trained, the more number data driven actions need to be taken, and then they need to be delivered at every front.
Well said, ma'am. I think you have summarized it also beautifully. I think university has a huge responsibility to make sure there's a process around this, and it's a step-by-step process which is executed as well. Talking a bit more about admissions, right? I think you've had the admissions department, which is a core part, the quality of students, ensuring a good quality of students are coming into the university year on year, and there's a growth. You've headed the admissions and marketing team as well for quite some time now. I think, what do you think, according to you, are some of the key, analytics or data points or numbers that any institution or a university at your scale should be tracking? If I'm the admissions head or I lead the admissions and marketing team, what are the key numbers or data, that analytics that I should be looking at regularly?
Okay, in terms of the data statistic for the admission analysis, it's every institute need to allocate their budget, their financial capacity they should understand, and that much budget is need to be understand, and that is how it comes. Actually, it comes actually that way. But I will not give that commercial answer to this particular question because the question is really nice, and I will justify that. I will justify that particular question in an educationist way. Academician, as a being an academician, I will answer that question. It is the commercial. It is the commercial terms. How much you spend, you have, and then what is the resources and the budget allocated, and obviously the lead flow. That is what is the actual thing, and that is how you manage the data. But the commercial, if you want to sustain in the in the entire ecosystem, because there are in last after 2016, the group has we are the pioneer. MIT Art Design Technology University is the pioneer group who has taken the decision of private state universities. So because private state universities and the bill has been sanctioned and we came up into the market with our own strength. So we need to create the environment, we need to create the ecosystem where the maximum learning could be achieved. Maximum learning could be achieved. Now, what is the meaning by a maximum learning, and how could you achieve that maximum learning? What is the market trend? That is, we need to understand. What is the deliverables here? What is the best deliverables we could deliver during that period? That is, we need to understand. So we have created a fantastic environment where the students will come up with the various startups and startup and innovation products. Then we have AIC Center. AIC Center has given us the Atal Innovation Mission of Innovation, that is AMI, has given us 10 crores of grants for development of the innovation center, innovation incubation center in the university. Then the learners, those who are want to get the real learning experience, they will definitely come to you. They understand because they are smart. The Generation Z is really smart. They understand what is there, we are missing in this university, and what kind of trends are there in this university. They understand and they come. There are some admissions. The students are coming from IIT institutes and they are getting admissions into our university because of this brand name, the values, and the entire ecosystem for innovation, startup, and entrepreneurship has been created. Another thing is that we have one more center, which is the Kriya Center, that is Center for Research. Kriya Center, they are taking the special efforts. Special team has been allocated at the university level. So special team is taking the efforts on the students for the startup, entrepreneurship, and innovation. The students are coming up with their own product, and we are giving them this entire support which is required for the funding, for the product commercialization, product patenting, product commercialization as well. And that is how it is. That is how the university, creating the brand strength of the university is really important. And then after that, you just have to assign your spend. You have to decide your spend, and then the reports which are created by the team members of the platforms which we are using. The Extra Edge is the platform this year we have chosen. And then the reports will definitely help us. Manual, instead of having nowadays, it is very fast. The university tier has become like an entire group. We have admission processes for the entire university. Almost it has gone to some 10,000 to 11,000, 12,000 admissions in a year. Intake. Wow. The intake has raised to 12,000. So 12,000 plus university admissions, and the fifth university at Solapur we have opened. So managing this strength is really not so easy. We need to create our own brand strategy. We need to create our own product development. We need to come up with our own solution, and then we have to get the brand value created, and then that is how we can sustain in the market. That is to sustain in the market, and then the commercial. So for example, 12,000 admissions, if I'm going to manage, what is going to be lead requirement for me? So that lead requirement, how to nurture that particular lead requirement, what action steps are to be taken for the nurturing the leads which we have absorbed. Then we have to see that how this talent has been absorbed in a right way, the whether as per their interest area. We need to understand the students' interest area also, and based on that, the strategic decision making need to be taken for while admitting the students. Otherwise, the brand name get spoiled in the market.
Wow, I think you've covered 3-4 very crucial points you've mentioned, about the spend. Number one is tracking the spend. This is primarily the marketing spend, how each institution actually manages what is the budget that has been allocated for marketing. How do they really track the spend? What is the ROI that is being driven from the spend? Second, you mentioned, ma'am, is brand strategy, which plays a very crucial role. I think you've touched upon a very crucial part, which is it's intangible, right? Brand strategy at many points, I cannot really measure even with the CRM at any point in time. But then brand strategy with technology adoption like chatbots, etc., onto the website becomes very crucial, where how are you communicating to the student during that process? 12,000 is like a very big number, and I'm sure a lot of effort would go into, handling the amount of walk-ins. I cannot even imagine the amount of walk-ins you would have, the rush at the counters during the peak season.
Counters, the sale, the team members, the team's vastness, team training is required, because everyone is into the academic mode, examination mode. To them, take them into the admission mode. A lot of switching is required for the people also in between when their job portfolio get changed. Then the convincing capabilities need to be developed for them, and it is like a fantastic. You enjoy also. When you convert, you enjoy also, and you get a feeling about that I am working for my organization and I am contributing to my organization. So that happiness is also very good for the faculties, and it's a really win-win situation for all the members, all the stakeholders.
Fantastic. One more highlight, what ma'am shared, which I would want to repeat, is actually doing the planning. Ma'am, I think you can add more to this. You mentioned when I have to ensure a 12,000 intake, when that's the number, you probably will want to do a reverse calculation of how many leads do I then require, how many applications do I then require, and so on, right? Is there any, if you can share more insights of, is there some data that can be picked up? For example, we generally advise some conversion ratios, right? But that's what I mentioned initially. What happens is I don't have historical data as to how many students or leads we generated last year before installation of a CRM. But once we have it, then it becomes easier thereafter, right? But any key metrics you could point out in this, how do I really go about, how much percentage do I look at?
We keep our key metrics ready. If I have a data around 5 to 7 years, almost 10 years of data we maintain. And on the key metrics, we require to understand the lead flow. We need to understand the lead flow. And key metrics, we consider that these many leads are required into our system. So we need to buy these many leads. So if we have a requirement of around 2 lakh leads, so how will we buy at a cheaper, what is going to be a cost for per lead? That is, we need to understand. Then we need to understand the cost per click. When we adopt the different, this is a digital media, and digital media conversion ratios are really bad. And there we need to understand the cost per click also for the social media and the other costing. Then this is social media and social environment is getting picked up in India, and conversions are really good. Sometimes it is surprisingly you get a result on this entire media. Then another thing is that we need to understand the cost per application. How much is so if I have allocated some 10 CR of budget for procuring some 10 lakh leads, or some what kind of leads I'm 2 lakh or 2 CR budget if I'm allocating for this particular spend, then I need to understand what is going to be my cost per application. Then what is going to be my cost per lead, cost per admin, and cost per admission also we desire. So we prefer the agents. We prefer the way of marketing where the cost per admission is little cheaper. We should have the cheaper cost for that. And even this is in the digital environment. earlier, when the digital media was not so popular, still we were doing the admission. Then what was the rate we will be able to offer that time also. That is, we compare, and then almost all the acceptable medias we have to. It could be a on direct admission processes, or it could be a by procuring the leads through the platform. So that is we do. So I can say in short, I can say in short, because of this digital media and social platform, the movement around the entire India, which we were doing, that is little bit reduced. The response which we are receiving through the exhibitions, expos, newspaper advertisement, or we could be getting the responses from the we were going some colleges to colleges, and then we were doing the branding, and then it was a humongous task. If we are going some indoors, so we were covering around the place, all the schools and colleges around Indore. Those who can come and join the webinars, or whatever the activity we have conducted, whatever the presentations we have scheduled for that area for our particular program. So to understand what kind of program it is and what the students will looking for career opportunities. So to understand that what we were doing, so this digital media has saved that work which was at a huge level we were doing. So that has been reduced a lot.
Okay. A quick question, follow-up question on what you've added, ma'am. You mentioned cost per lead, cost per click, which is more on the marketing front. You've also mentioned two critical metrics, that is cost per application and admission. Now, I think MIT has been transformational since the beginning, and the kind of reputation you have built out there. I'm happy that you have built that data earlier also before having a CRM in place. But if you do a comparison of once you have brought the CRM, are there more metrics other than this that have helped you, or has it also helped you to optimize this? When you mentioned cost per admission should be the lowest, right? I think the entire strategy of admission boils down to that. But even in this, having a CRM, how much has it helped, or in what ways has it helped you to, bringing this lesser or digitizing the complete process, or getting good students from the activities like going to schools, etc.?
Okay, so there are several you can say the issues, and that is being discussed about it. So the strategy, it could be the leads which are coming onto the different platforms. So the leads are coming from the various locations all over the India when it is coming from the platform, and that India's vastness, the geographical locations will get covered easily through that media. We need not require to move out of the offices and travel, and then that time could be utilized for the proper administration. Then the lead manager system, or the systems like which are created like Extra Edge or some other, there are many more agencies are there that will be really helping us to providing the reports very easily. And in that lead flow, that is, if the how many leads we have received today, day-to-day basis, so how many caller teams we need, how to expand our calling team. Then we need to also manage that whether the calling teams are performing in a right direction or not the right direction. So nowadays everything is digitized in that. Also we can we'll see that. So the people are aware of this. The right remarks are maintained or not maintained by them. If the calling teams are calling and they have maintained the right remarks or not right remarks, we have appointed the managers for calling on the calling team. The managers are on the calling team. They are managing that today we have to finish this much task, and this manager has to find out whether the task has been completely done in a right way or not right way. So that is there. Then lead flow management system again helps us like to get the geographical analysis that from this area we are getting lead flow much better, and there we can more target to increase the number lead count. And even the people team members, the calling team members can maintain this kind of records. These leads are quite quite positive from this area, and here we can do more target-oriented marketing, and that is we can listen.
Ma'am, would you say that diversity in the student pool becomes important as well? So you mentioned calling is one of the activities right now. Many colleges do talk about having students from every state or having a diversity of students. But from the calling perspective, for me to manage all the languages today, right, in the counseling process may not also be an easy task. Just tracking calls, making sure that calls are being done properly. But is this one of the things that you focus at MIT, or do you think that's not really a very important factor when it comes to looking at, because digital media helps, right? I can today bring leads from everywhere, as you already mentioned. But should I really do that? Because with COVID, what happened? Students didn't travel thereafter from one state to another. The focus was more internal within the state. Is that still a trend, or do you look for diversity in your admissions proactively?
We see the diversity in the admissions. Definitely, we see on this issue, and that records are also maintained throughout the entire university merit list preparation. And while awarding the scholarships to the students, while seeing that some of the one more, I think this year the government has given some constraints on the poor and deprived families should give the concession in the fees, because we are the private universities and we do not have any authorities to fees. We do not have any fees regulation. So rather having that fees regulation, we will be giving what deliverables we want to deliver, what modifications we want to bring into the academics, that we will be able to entire autonomy of the structuring syllabus curriculum we are enjoying, and that is through by getting the proper fees which we have absorbed from the students, and then we see that how we can achieve the deliverables to them.
Okay. In terms of efficiencies, one of the end objectives of implementing a CRM is to make sure you save on the marketing spend, try and save in all possible ways. Number two is also to increase the efficiency of the team. When you have a counseling team, calling team, etc. in place, what are the metrics or what analysis or insights do you think an institution can draw by looking at the data, by looking at the admissions data, which can thereafter help the institute to increase the efficiency in terms of, be it in terms of reducing the admission cost, or be it in terms of getting more applications or admissions at any point in time. So overall, would it help? To what extent would it help, or how would a CRM or data and analytics would help to increase the efficiency of a calling team or your counseling or the marketing team that is responsible to bringing in leads?
Yeah, efficiency of entire calling team, we will be able to handle because of the report generated, the calling remarks which we are receiving after the entire records which are maintained into the system. So through that we will be able to manage. Then if we see the efficiency in terms of, if we want to see the efficiency in terms of the lead, how costing we can reduce. So in probable systems, we are able to have the number of remarks we could be able to manage. So that is helping us, so that their cost is again saved. Then second thing is that if we managing the efficiency, we can have a number of attempts with the students. The platforms are so nice that today it has been set into the processes like a messaging. It could be a messaging, small passing on to the messages again student. Because today I got a mail and I am interested in some NMIMS university for getting the admission. But still everyone is so busy and everyone is so occupied. In 3-4 days, you take for 3 to 4 days, 5 days, you take a time for decision making, and sometimes it is some emergency comes into you and then you forget. So this re-messaging facility is again very helpful. That is minimizing the cost. Emailer is the activity which you can run many a times. That has been helping. That has also been helping. Direct data available. Direct data we can occupy for BTech degree programs, or you can occupy for master's degree program, because I cannot send. I cannot buy the leads of entire India. But
Right.
rather I'll be targeting to the special class of the BBTech people, those who are interested to MTech admissions. Then it is going to be attempting to only the actually interested candidate. It is not going vague and the lead and vague messages or vague emailer. So that is again helping us to improve the efficiency of our people, and as well as the we do not have the e-wastage on the system also, and that is again helping. Calling efforts also get saved because of that. The number of attempts you could do, so that is again helping us to save the calling efforts of the team.
Fantastic. I think
and sometimes we could be able to minimize that efforts to some minor 10% to 20% also, because the brand name has been created, the accreditation is there on board on the university. So we just have to finalize the deadlines and get the application number and display the merit list once the process is clear. The entire process has been cleared by the candidates.
Beautifully said, ma'am. I think automation we talk about, you have been a role model in implementing a lot of technology and bringing in such automation. As you rightly mentioned, communication is one area which can be automated, and with faculties having the kind of responsibilities, the teams having the responsibilities, they might forget to inform the student about various aspects, or there's so much of information today. So a easy way of passing that to students periodically, reminding them about the last dates of application, admission, the process, etc., can be easily done with the help of a CRM, and that kind of aids and helps to optimize the efficiency of the team. I think very, very deep insights that we have been able to draw today, and would definitely want to hear if there are any specific reports or any new as a roadmap, because I have known you to be somebody who's innovative and somebody who is looking into the future, right? Any suggestions in terms of key reports or new features or developments? We recently launched the create your own dashboard feature. I remember, create your own reports, which enables the team to build something, because many a times management will ask for a report and say, I have to present it today. So it's not possible for them to try and create it thereafter. So we built the pivoting feature recently. Any other report that you would want to highlight today? Before we move to the questions, anything that you would want to share in terms of reports and analytics data from the admissions perspective?
Reports and data which are coming, I think they are quite okay. But still the improvements are there. Improvements need to be done in that. That is again, we can have just by SMS and texting, or by reaching how many people, how many conversions we could do. That is, we can micro detailing we need to do in that. Micro detailing, you have to go, okay, fine, we have converted out of 2 lakh leads to positive number of application. But the way which is adopted for this conversion, that will again help us in adopting the new methodologies. Then second thing is that this much is my application in the system, and how I could achieve this application which we are entered into the system to the direct admission done status or the detail conversion detail. So there also we need to minimize our efforts. So which efforts are helpful for us, that is we need to analyze. So for example, application has been received. So application has been reached, the candidate has been reached us, but most of the times the candidate do not complete the admission. That patients do not have, that generation do not have that much patience, because the application is lengthy. And nowadays, even the parents are double income family, both husband and wife both are working together, so they don't get a focused time onto the students. And very few students are there, those who don't need attention. The attention nahi chahiye, parents, they don't want parents' attention, they are very less. So if our counselors team gives them the quite guideline, quite thought process which is clear, so that time reaching to them by in-person conversation helps us in conversion from unpaid application, half application, to make their decision into the positive decision and the fruitful decision, where they will not have any ambiguity in their mind. So that kind of analysis, if we could do, that is again helpful. Second thing is that the presentation, which the reports which are coming up, they should be in the format of graphical representation. Then it will be easy to read for us. That is the another thing. That is one more thing which we can say.
Noted. I think one of the things I would like to share you as well as the attendees today is that we at TechStride, we have also launched a concept of insights. So this year onwards, we will also work very closely with the admission teams to provide insight in terms of, what has worked, what could become better, and so on. Because many a times, as you rightly pointed, the data is there, but somebody needs to analyze it from a human lens. And from your experience, I'm sure you've been doing a fantastic job at that. So we would also want to be part of that process and help institutions to be able to drive insights and take strategic decisions which help to, further optimize the efficiency and bring the cost down. I think you've been grateful to, thank you to you. We've been able to have a lot of insights today. The kind of vast experience that you come with and the insights that you have shared is definitely going to help this year to many other institutions to be able to progress and do well. You've been a role model, ma'am, and I will quickly hand over to Tanisha to kind of move to questions. I see quite a few questions have come in. Tanisha, I think we can quickly take 1 or 2 questions.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sunita ma'am, for throwing some light on this topic. So I will just go with the first question. After COVID pandemic, the quality of student has become very much low and the interest on education is missing. How can we improve the quality of the students who were admitted after pandemic?
Yeah, the quality of interest, this is the same thing I can say this is happening in most of the students, those who are coming, who were in 10th standard during the pandemic, and they now come to 11th and 12th. So some of the students, 10th and 11th, they were at home. 11th was casual again, the students take it casually. Then 12th, they come. So really good students, for them, it is no problem at all anywhere. But the students, some of the students, those who do not want to write anything on the paper, that kind of students are also coming. I am in the section, in the academics from last 30 years. Almost 30 years I have been graduated. After graduation, I completed my post-graduation. But after only that could be removed. But 30 years are over for my graduation, and I have experienced this kind of changes. Self-learning, students want to, students don't want to have the full attention. That is the another challenge which we are coming. The mind is totally, they want to divert themselves quickly. They get diverted quickly. So what we have observed that when we were conducting online session during the pandemic, the students, half of the time they just do the login, and then they went off. They are not giving their 100%. So we insisted, almost I think we are the pioneer one, because most of the post-graduation students are there, so they are quite mature, and we insisted, enforced them to come into the classes. And the concepts like engineering concepts, or it could be a management concepts, or it could be a PG level concepts. So there for entire 1 hour or 6 hours of learning in a day, they have to, and that passion and the patience, passion and the patience, both are required. And you cannot manage that onto the platform like online media or online. You will do a small course, 1 day, 1-2 hours spent, or 3 hours, maximum 3 hours spent, and then you can complete that certification, online certification, or then you can complete some small diploma, etc. So that is there. Or the candidate need to be matured for that also. People, those who are working, they don't have time to go and learn some things. For them it is quite preferable. But here, when you come into in-person teaching or in-person classes, your attention is full 100%. The faculty are monitoring. The class sessions become interactive, and even some of the papers, students were not focusing onto the exams. They were not so serious about their examinations. The false reasons are coming up while submitting the paper, etc. because it is a session of 3 hours of time span, 3 hours of time, and then they couldn't finish during that period, and they want to get some extra things, so they were able to give us the technical reasons and not submitting, and then that kind of things also have been increased nowadays. And overall the number is increasing, those who are preferring to come into the education, but quality constraint if we consider in that way, so it is that percentage is also is increasing. We are not enrolling but not having so seriousness about the program. So that task has been increased for the faculty members also. So they have to mentor, they have to see, they even the people, those who complete the course, they are not so serious about, okay, if I'm going to work as an intern and then I'm working as at a very basic level after 12th standard or after BBA level or BA level. So what is going to be my career path? And if I have achieved this in a better way, that is, if I have done the most best education which I can afford or which I can absorb, then that is been that understanding, if once it has been developed, so that students are easy to handle for them. So they are just seeing that they will, how they can finish their earning and how they can become independent. So that percentage is also increasing in the student, how they can become self-reliant, and because they get matured. So after that, they want to be, they feel bad to get money from the parents in India, and then they do any kind of jobs. So that is also increased, and they are not focusing on to the education.
Agreed, Sunita ma'am, on this particular point. So we have also one question. I think this is a follow-up question from what we already answered. She is asking, explain the parameters of good student. It's quite okay. As with Gen Z, this term has become diverse.
The parameters of a good student, that is the very first thing comes is the mindset. Second thing which I can say, mindset, that I want to do this particular program, that mindset is required now. Second thing is that the complete focus onto that, because the students, from the day one when they're born, we parents have given them the gadgets, we parents have given them this ample amount of instruments in their hand in very small young age. So they are preferring, they want to whatever the mental stress is coming onto the students, they want to release that stress through using these gadgets and media. That percentage has been increased. Then that is I think in the entire people, even sometimes it is like if you are a engineering graduate, and after that you want to be half of the day for games, or half of the time if you want to spend for playing the games, playing onto the gadgets or watching the movies, etc. That percentage has increased into the students. The students are becoming less conscious about their health. That is again there. Then they are little unattended students. Sometimes it is unattended because the parents, somebody is not there. They are they are grown independently. They have they go to school, they come back from the school, they attend, they do homework. Sometimes they get a good attention, but sometimes if they don't get a good attention, they want to do their own methodology. They want to adopt their own methodologies to complete their task. So that percentage is also increased. That is there. That is there. So these are the challenges coming. These are the challenges. Then some students are really good. Some students are really good. Some students prefer, because of the IT media and the entire environment, they know that in the trends which are coming up, these are known to the children much better than us. That is what I can say. They know that this particular innovation has been done by this particular company, and they have launched this particular new product, and this product is going to help us in this way and that way. So that is their more understanding. These kind of students are there. And then they also, some students are there, those who are having the very quiet understanding. Some students are there was 2 days back, one student came in my office, and he said that, ma'am, really it was that Mr. Karad has focused us, talked us about the innovation and etc. Innovation and how this innovation driven economy is going to help us. And that little learning has motivated myself to develop the product. And he has developed a drone which is very small in weight, but which is capable of handling the rigging the you can say the ये जो exploits करने वाली चीजें होती हैं, that they can wig and they can throw in the areas where they found that it is a dangerous zone, and there you can have exploit that particular atom. So that kind of drone he has developed. Even the trials are being given by the DRDO and other departments, and they are self-attended students. These are the self-attended students. They need only the guidance. Sometimes what we do for them, we don't do anything for them. We just mentor them. It is up to their mentality. They take the efforts. They find out the material, that how it could be a lightweight, how it could be a small, how what kind of product is going to be save the cost. These are all his experiments. So that is come by own willingness, own zeal of learning, these kind of students are coming in a number way. You might have learned this number of students are some small 16 years students are handling IT companies, 16 years of age. So this is like a complete innovative area. Innovation is happening anywhere, and those who are catching that particular train, they are shining. They are becoming the star. They are becoming the star. That is how.
After listening to you, I feel like joining MIT ADT now.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure it is exciting to be mentored by you and actually to learn from you at the university as well. It sounds brilliant. I think it's a good opportunity.
A lot of learning is there. Definitely visit our campus, and you will see.
I'm likely in Pune next week. I'll make sure I'll come down along with Jen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Suprita, we have very interesting questions. So from Sachin sir, it says it gets difficult to create reports source-wise, week-wise, counselor-wise, conversion ratio, etc. How are you doing this basically?
You need to buy extra HCRF. Yes, ma'am. Over to you.
Yeah, that is. I think that is there in Extra Edge. These kind of reports can be counselors' reports are there. You can create. You can see the counselors' untouched leads. You can see the conversion leads. You can see these reports are there. These reports are there. If I think they are quite okay. This much is okay.
Yeah. So Sachinji, I think Extra Edge comes packed with over 100 plus.
I think this is more what you can say. कि उनका कोई और thought process है, and he want more to get into the same. Then we can really add into that. So quite okay. ज़्यादा reporting पे भी if you focus on more reporting, then you spend a lot of time also. But whatever is required, that is, I think, okay.
Right.
Okay.
All right. I think ma'am has beautifully answered it. बहुत ज़्यादा भी नहीं होना चाहिए, बहुत कम भी नहीं होना चाहिए. And Extra Edge will support you.
बहुत माइक्रो डिटेलिंग करने हैं, कितना घंटा लगाया उन्होंने, how much time he spent on the calling for 30 calls, 15 calls, 20 calls. So that is this kind of anything you can add in this now. But efficiency, to increase the efficiency of course we have to see. So certain time spans we should give, and we should allocate that time, and we can see the performance of the counselors. We have to rely on them, so we have to not go into the more micro detailing. That will also work sometimes.
Right.
A balance between both, I guess, ma'am, is a good thing to have.
Absolutely.
Balance is required.
Okay, there's one more question. Can you share an example of a situation where analysis played a crucial role in solving a complex problem or making an informed decision?
Yeah, of course. The analysis helps in solving the complex problem. The analysis will help you simplify your problem. Analysis will also help you to simplify that particular problem. So if it is a complex problem, you can do the micro detailing of that particular steps. And you can simplify that micro detailing. After doing the micro detailing, you can simplify the problem, and then you can achieve this. If any particular specific problem that is there, so different mathematical models you need to understand, and which model is going to be helpful for you. That is you need to understand, and then you have to solve the complex problem.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for answering that. There's one interesting question again. Why are students more keen in going to foreign countries rather than India? So
that is I think that is again a big issue, a big challenge for India. Because we work very less on the research driven academics. So academics should be a research driven. Academics should be analysis based. Then academics should be academics should be taken in a live examples. If it is taken live example, then it will be the students prefer. Then the student prefer to be in India only. What I have observed that a lot of students I have observed in my life. So it is basically that in foreign countries, basically the innovation happens in the university. This innovation which is happened at university level, then that innovation comes into the product development. That product development comes into the product commercialization, and product commercialization into the product, then the product into the market. And that is how the organizations are developed. The huge organizations like a ABC, or any organizations like that vaccine has been developed, that organization, or the Oxford University has given us the patent for the treatment for this particular vaccine, which was developed by Adar Poonawalla group. So that is the support was from the Oxford University only. So research driven work will definitely make the university team members to increase the quality education in India. And these kind of research projects, we are very good in India. We have developed our own Chandrayaan. We have developed, the IT industry number is very well in India. The a lot of IT in the people from the India are working day and night for the America, because our US teams and US companies, and for them they are developing the products, etc. That is okay. But still in India, the university education was the higher education percentage is really low, really bad, really poor, which is again I am stating. Then the university to academia to industry gap need to be solved. In more and more industry people, the platforms need to be created for problem repositories. If you have a problem on in your organization, why are you not open to get the solution from my AI ML doctorate faculty for that particular solution? That kind of environment system need to be developed in India. For example, I think a lot of AI product development is going on in Pune city itself. So we have a doctorate faculties who are completely having the complete knowledge of AI ML. And if you want to solve that particular problem, if you need the mentorship, why you are not open? That is one thing. Second thing is that the academic people are not commercial. They are not commercial. They don't look themselves as from the commercial angle. So recently in NEP, that is when you talk about NEP, National Education Policy 2020, in that the government has also done some changes, because the academic people also should, why should I go to any company, or company should come to me? Rather having that dilemma in between and wasting some years and some time span, Why, if I have some patent, I have some idea, why should not I sell that particular idea to any organization? Why should not I create the product commercialization? And even the industrial organization is having some problem solution with them, and why they feel not to come to the academics. Both gap need to be removed. Second thing is that research in incentivization, that is the one very best factor which has been added into the this NEP 2020, research incentivization. The people are writing the papers, people are publishing the patent, people are coming, having their own reports for the doctorate level of work. But still, if they come into the real product development, then even the universities are also, we universities are also open, our innovation center is also open to give them the incentives for that particular product development. They should get closely associated with the organization. Now recently, what the challenges we are facing, also we are also facing the challenge of talented faculties in our organization, those who have that self drive when they work in that direction. So that drive is also that is that percentage is also really bad in India. And that is why the faculties are more focused in US. The faculties are more focused onto this kind of activities and less number of teaching. The assignments which are given to the students are onto the live projects itself. So the students are also happy that something I'm doing for the commercial organization, and attending that boring class and attending that example, rather they focus more onto the real learning. That openness need to be created in our academic environment. So because of that, the internships are created mandatory. Because of that, nowadays the live projects have become mandatory. So I think India needs time. India is a developing country, so it will be a slow change. But the fast generation, we IT generation, should create that fast change. That is our responsibility. That is it is the responsibility of we people.
Nicely put.
Okay.
It will happen. It will happen for sure. But yeah, it will take time. Okay.
Ma'am,
Sorry,
you're already leading the way. I think a lot of people are already following to get there.
Okay.
Okay, Sunita ma'am, we would be taking just one more question. So the last question is, what kind of analysis should help to forecast and predict all unforeseen challenges in admissions? And how are you basically doing it?
The challenges in the admission process, that unattended data, how it will be, how we can reach to them. That is the one thing. Second thing is that how we can have a social reach to the students, the webinar activity which we are conducting for that, or the blog writing activity which we can have. That is how we can improve on that activities and enhance ourselves to put forth to the next level. And that is how it could be done. Second thing is that analytical reports will definitely day-to-day monitoring is also required. Analytical reports create key habit, and managers team need to be developed. They need to be groomed. They need to be mentored, and then it gets developed.
Got it. Suprita, do you want to add anything else in this?
No, I think ma'am has covered literally everything and summed everything up. I myself have made a lot of notes. Adding it in my next training session. So got to learn a lot from you, ma'am. I think I'm absolutely grateful for having you today. Thank you for taking that time. From my side, I just want to thank ma'am for coming in. I think I've learned a lot personally myself.
Thank you. I think enough for the day. Thank you all. Thank you for attending being a number, and thank you for inviting me. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a great day. Great evening for you all.
Thank you, ma'am. A quick note to all the attendees, you could write to us. We will ensure we take up more questions, if any. Ma'am would be available. If you have more questions, you can write to us at any point in time. Thank you. Good day.